Okay, I want to thank everybody first of all for purchasing the 1 year subscription to get this free option trading course. And what I'm going to try to do is show you how to look for trades and how to find your own option trades, as well as get a better grip or grasp on what I try to look for and why I do trades, and maybe you'll get a better understanding on why I'm taking a trade. First off, I want to show you, for those of you that are new, I want to show you the futures real quick. You can check the futures each night. I normally check them before I go to bed, or if I get up early in the morning, I'm checking them. And as you can see here, the Dow futures are pointing towards a higher opening Monday morning, January 3rd. The NASDAQ futures are up, and then the S&P futures are up. And like I said, just go to this website, cnnmoney.com, and even when you wake up in the morning, you can check this site, and it'll give you a good idea on what futures are going to do or how the market might open. So it looks like we're going to start the new year with a higher open, and that would be great since we're mainly in call options. The other catalyst that's going to move us higher or lower is going to be fourth quarter earnings, which are coming out in January. Now, the ones we're seeing now are just companies that have different fiscal years and stuff like that, different quarters that start with, a third quarter, and when most companies are in their fourth quarter. So some of those companies will be reporting this week, and what I want to do here is just kind of show you how to find which ones are going to be reporting this week. So if you go to Yahoo Finance, type in earnings, and then you'll see this little earnings calendar. You want to click on that, and then you'll click for next week, and then you'll see here the companies. Here's January 3rd right here. And then you'll see different companies reporting here. Now, the ones that have the NA here, where I'm pointing over, they're kind of companies that really don't have earnings, or they're pink sheet stocks, or they trade on different exchanges, like this one here. It's a 57-cent stock, so obviously you don't want to play options on those. And in the weekly wrap, what I do is, I pretty much use this calendar and a few others, but I like this one for its simplicity. And as you can see, Monday I really didn't see anything. So I kind of highlighted, in the weekly wrap that I didn't see anything for Monday. Tuesday, there's a chance there might be some movement in Sonic and Mosaic. Sonic is a $10 stock, but I don't think it's really going to move that much. If you want to look real quick, it's pretty much stayed in this $10 range for for a little bit. We'll go down here 9, 10, 9, 10, 8, 9, and it's pretty much not worth playing options on. If we click back here, you'll see Mosaic, and we've been watching this company. Well, we've been watching it for years, but we highlighted it in our weekly wrap in August. I think when shares were probably around 66, maybe 50. I'm not really sure. Let me check real quick. It's been in a strong uptrend lately, and it's some takeover chatter, and you can see it's not cooperating with me here. Let me see if I can get a chart for you real quick. Yeah, so Mosaic, you can see this uptrend since August, which we kind of talked about right in here. Unfortunately, we didn't take a long-term call option trade on it. But as you can see, this was a breakout. This was resistance right here. So when shares kind of broke through here, you can see where they broke out higher, and then they consolidated back down to support, and now they've shot back higher. it's going to be an aggressive trade if you want to do an earnings trade on it. You know, right here you can see the stock price is at 76, so you want to try to stay as close to that strike price as you can. Naturally, if you were bearish on Mosaic, then you would look at put options, but there's a chance, I think, you know, this thing breaks 80. So on Tuesday when they report, let's double check to make sure that you always want to do that too. So click on company events, and you can see here they're reporting Tuesday. So we'll go back to the options, and then the first thing I'll look for is, you know, you can look at the near-term Januaries, because most earning trades are a day or two, and that's it. You either get them right or you get them wrong. So for this one, you know, these options have about 3 weeks, 18 days before they expire. So we want to roll down here to the 80s, or yeah, the 80s. The 85s would kind of be a stretch. They might move. But if you want to play it, like I said, it'd be best to play one of these 80s. Now what you'll see here are these weekly options, and I'll cover those in another video. But they're different, and they expire differently. So you can see here these expire. These are different. So we want to go with these. These are more liquid. I don't really use the gamma and the vega and the Greeks and all that stuff, because basically I'm just doing math. You know, a lot of that stuff people ask me about, and I could write a book on it, but it really doesn't matter as far as making earnings trades. I mean, they do a little bit because they can be overpriced, but these, you know, are fairly okay. If the stock makes a 10% move, then you're going to be looking at, let me check this real quick. Alright, 10% here would give you 83, 84 bucks. So if you look at the January options, the 80s we just looked at, let's see here. So if they're at 83, you know, these options are going to be worth 3. It's an 80 call. If the shares go up to 83, then the options will be worth at least 3. And these options right now are at 2, or a little bit under 2. So let's just say they were at, you know, if the stock opens up a little bit higher on Monday morning and you want to do a trade, you get in under 2, and if it goes to 3 the next morning after earnings, then you sell it into strength and you take 50%. I'm a little leery about taking this trade personally. I don't really think we're going to recommend it in the daily, because it just looks too easy. You know, there is takeover chatter and stuff like that, and they'll probably announce a blowout quarter. But it's one we might shy away from. The ones I kind of want to cover really are on Thursday. The first one is Schnitzer Steel. You know, before I made this video, I did the research on it, and shares really don't move that much. They were moving a couple bucks when the stock was in the 40s and 50s, but there is a chance that, you know, this could move 5%, which is you know, about $3. So if we get to 70, steel's been hot, so that's why I'm looking at calls. I'm not even worried about puts, but they have warned that they might have a weird quarter. So, you know, this is also a trade we're probably going to stay away from. Sometimes, you know, earnings, you know, it's an art in itself, and like I said, most of the time we do a lot of research to try to get them right, but even then, you know, it depends on what the company says going forward, and other factors. But real quick, with, you know, the stock at 66, you know, these 70 options would cost you about $1.15, and then if shares move $3, they wouldn't even make it to 70. So these options right here would probably lose some fluff. If shares could move 10%, then you'd have a $6 or $7 move, and this would probably be a good trade. But what I want to show you is, how I figured out how the stock moves on earnings. So basically what you can do, it's not really heavily traded either. The average daily volume is under 300,000 shares. You want a little bit more liquidity when you're trading some kind of options, and these options really aren't that liquid, which is another thing that's going to keep us on the sidelines. But if you look here, since the company's reporting January 6th, if you go back 3 months and you figured they reported sometime in October. So what we want to do is look for older news, and then I'll show you how I came up with, how they react around earnings. We'll go down here and check October 11, and then we'll go around this date. And as you can see, it looks like, they announced earnings around the 11th. Let's see, on the 20th, I'm sorry. So basically we'll go over here, we'll remember that, October 20th, and then you'll see here, I'll show you June, July, right around here. On July 1st they announced earnings. So those are the two we want to talk about. Those two dates we'll look up. This article actually said you shouldn't buy the shares when they were at 45, but it's gone up 50% since then. So like I said, maybe it's gone up too far, it's going to come back down, but we kind of don't like them. The options, that is. So if you look at the moves after earnings for this stock, like I said, we'll go to October here. Right here, shares went up a little bit over $2. They actually had a pretty good quarter and beat estimates. So, and then on the next one, I can't show you that unfortunately because of Yahoo. Anyway, if I recall, before I did the videos, it was working, but actually, let me see if I can show you. Do it this way. Sometimes Yahoo gets quirky after midnight, so we can do. Let's do this. I'm going to show you the move it made. Like I said, after it announced back in July. So we'll give us enough time here. There we go. So you can see, on July 1st, let's get a little bit more here. Let's see. Yeah, so if they announced around here, this is probably the volume day, and then shares kind of traded down $2. So it was really a non-event, but then it dipped right here, leveled off, and then it shot back over 40. And then since then, it's been on this huge run, as you can see from the chart here. So we're just a little leery. Like I said, if there was more liquidity, we would probably, look into this trade a little bit further. But the one we did find that is interesting, I don't know if it's going to be an official recommendation yet, but Constellation Brands is also reporting, and they're hitting 52-week highs. Let's double check. Like I said, make sure they're reporting Thursday. Yep, January 6th. The first thing I did, I looked at the near-term options. I've done some research, and I think they're going to have a good quarter. I think there's a chance they could trade up to 25. So the first thing I did was looked at these 2250s. Now, as you can see, they only have 18 days before they expire. And this stock does not move 5% really that much at all during any given period. So these options are 50 cents. So basically, if shares, made it up to 23, by January, here it is, January 21st, we'd break even on the trade. If they popped up a little bit after earnings, they might go to 60 cent, and then you could exit. But I think the safer trade would be to look at the February 2250s, which are going at 70 cent basically. You can see the bid ask here, and the open interest is quite small. But like I said, if there's some momentum after earnings, you have another, you got about 40 days to play this. So if shares make it up to 24, this right here is a double, because these options, they'll be worth $1.50. Again, it's kind of a risky trade, and I doubt we even go with it. But I just wanted to show you a few earnings trades that this is how you would start. The other thing I want to show you real quick on the steel stocks, if some of you recall, I did a video a few months ago, and I said to watch for U.S. steel on a breakout after 50, because once it broke out, it was going to run. As you can see, shares are at 58, and the breakout occurred right here. And unfortunately, most of the time, our portfolio is full, and I don't like to recommend any more than 10 open trades. Sometimes I might push 12 or 15, but all systems must be go, and I just didn't feel comfortable, with the end of year coming up, trying to add this one to it, because I've been burned in the past on U.S. Steel, and I just shied away from it. But as you can see, right here is all this resistance that was taken out on this breakout right here. So, that's the same case for Schnitzer Steel. So, again, this could be a bullish trade before Alcoa's earnings. But, like I said, the options aren't that liquid, so we're kind of going to stay away from them. I will try to do a bigger video next week, because that is when the fourth quarter and year-end earnings are going to be coming in vogue. And for those of you that follow the market, they like to say Alcoa kicks off earnings season. I'm sorry, I was trying to show you when they report, and it's the week after next. So, and then I'll give you a quick glimpse of who's coming up, and then you can start doing research from there. Again, so if you think a stock's going to go higher or lower after earnings announcement, that's how you start doing your research. Right here, Alcoa is going to start Monday, January 10th. I can already tell you right now, this is the first one we're going to look at. This stock is, just read the article on the website, and you'll know how much I think this thing is overblown. As far as the stock price, I think this thing is going to the teens, and I would stay away from this group. But anyway, that's going to be some of the trades we look at for next week. But I wanted just to give you all a filler on how to start looking for your earnings trades. They happen every 3 months, so this is our Super Bowl, and what's great about it is it happens every 3 months. Norfolk Southern, they'll be reporting on Tuesday. This is kind of an under radar trade too. I don't think a lot of options really trade on it. Well, actually they do. There's a lot of open interest in this stock as far as the options, and like I said, as far as puts, puts are cheap right now. So you know, maybe some of these, we're probably looking at some of these trades as straddles and strangles because puts are so cheap. Then for Wednesday, you can come look. Really don't see a lot here on Wednesday, week after next. And then Thursday, you'll have Intel. Let's go down here and look, see what else we got. Well, Intel on Thursday, week after next. And then Friday, you got JP Morgan. So, again, this video's been about 20 minutes, but I just wanted to get everybody's feet wet. This is the week after next, and I'll try to do an update on more of these later. But for now, again, it looks like the market is going higher. Let's see if I can refresh this for you. Okay, so we're still up. Dow futures are up 66. For those of you that aren't a member to the daily, we go over a lot more stuff in the daily as far as we try to keep 10 open trades, and on the watch list we try to have anywhere from 5 to 10 candidates as backups. Hopefully you enjoyed the video. As always, feel free to email me and I will cover any questions that you may have. Until next time.